25 people dead. 20 more wounded. Not soldiers on a battlefield, but civilians buying groceries in a crowded market. This is the grim reality of war in Ukraine. Donetsk, a city in eastern Ukraine, has been caught in the crosshairs of this brutal conflict for nearly 2 years. Now, under Russian control, it has become the target of a deadly attack, and the finger of blame is being pointed directly at the Ukrainian army. Was this a tragic accident or a deliberate act of terror? In this video, we'll delve into the details of the Donetsk market shelling, explore the accusations flying between both sides, and examine the wider context of this devastating event. The sun had barely risen over Donetsk on Sunday morning when the market bustled with the usual weekend routine. Vendors setting up stalls, families stocking up on supplies, the air filled with the chatter of commerce and everyday life. But in a heartbeat, that normalcy shattered. Shells, raining down from unknown origins, ripped through the heart of the market, leaving a scene of unimaginable horror. Screams pierced the air. Blood stained the pristine snow. 25 innocent lives snuffed out, their bodies lying amongst overturned produce and shattered stalls. 20 more left wounded, their cries echoing the grief of a city torn apart. Russian officials were quick to point the finger. Denis Pushilin, the head of the Russian-appointed administration in Donetsk, declared it a treacherous strike against the civilian population by Ukrainian forces. Alexei Kalemzin, the city's Russian-installed mayor, confirmed the attack targeted the bustling market area. The shockwaves of the Donetsk market attack reverberated far beyond the city limits. In Moscow, the Russian Foreign Ministry erupted in fury, unleashing a torrent of condemnation against Ukraine. A scathing statement branded the attack as a barbaric act of terrorism, accusing Ukrainian forces of deliberately targeting civilians with weapons supplied by the West. However, Kyiv remained largely silent in the immediate aftermath. No official statements, no immediate explanations, leaving a vacuum of information that only fueled the flames of Russian accusations. This silence, though, resonated against a backdrop of past condemnations. Russia has repeatedly expressed outrage over civilian casualties in Donetsk, blaming Ukrainian shelling for previous tragedies. Yet, its own military campaign in Ukraine has also been marred by accusations of widespread civilian casualties, casting a shadow over its accusations against Kyiv. The question becomes, who fired the shells that rained down on the Donetsk market? In the fog of war, finding definitive answers amidst the finger-pointing becomes a Herculean task. But the tragedy of the Donetsk market extends beyond the immediate casualties. It's a grim reminder of the larger political context that fueled this conflict. Donetsk stands at the heart of a land dispute, claimed by both Ukraine and Russia. Just months ago, Russia staged a controversial annexation of the region, a move condemned by much of the international community. This attack, then, becomes a potent symbol of the ongoing struggle for control. Meanwhile, on another front, Russian forces claim to have secured the village of Krokmaln in the Kharkiv region, further north. However, Ukrainian military officials downplay the significance of this capture, suggesting it has minimal impact on the overall strategic situation. This contrasting narrative highlights the fluidity and complexity of the war's territorial gains. While Russia touts advances, Ukraine maintains its strategic goals, leaving viewers to decipher the true meaning of these shifts on the battlefield. The sun may have set on another tragic day in Donetsk, but the shadows of the market attack will linger long after. 25 lives extinguished, 20 more forever scarred, all amidst the chaos of a war that seems to have no end. Finger-pointing and accusations fill the air, yet one thing remains clear: the victims of this violence were not soldiers on a battlefield, but ordinary people caught in the crossfire. This is the grim reality of civilians trapped in the middle of a conflict they did not choose. Beyond the immediate tragedy, the attack lays bare the deeper zechamunes of this war. The ongoing dispute over Donetsk, the accusations of civilian casualties on both sides, the constant territorial shifts, these are the complexities that fuel the flames of this conflict. But amidst the darkness, a flicker of hope remains. Can voices of reason rise above the din of war? Can diplomacy prevail over the thirst for vengeance? These are the questions that haunt us in the wake of such tragedies. The answer, ultimately, lies not in the battlefield, but in the hearts and minds of all those who yearn for peace. This video is just one glimpse into the human cost of war. We encourage you to learn more, to engage in constructive dialogue, and to never lose sight of the preciousness of human life. Can this cycle of violence ever be broken? That is the question we must all answer together.